Hello students, welcome back to the new session of our lesson number 7, chapter 10, respiration in organisms. Previous video I had explained about what is meant by breathing and what is inhalation and what is exhalation, etc. I hope you had listened that. Today we will continue the chapter. Now see the screen here. One lady is closing her nose and mouth and try to observe the breath. How much time she can hold that, holding the breath. Very less time only we can hold our nose and nostrils and mouth closed. Otherwise, it will be very difficult. The person without breathing can't survive. The number of times a person breathes in a minute is termed as the breathing rate. During breathing, inhalation and exhalation take place alternately. One time inhalation, taking in, then next exhalation, breathing out. A breath means one inhalation plus one exhalation. So this will be continuously going on in our whole lifetime. Now, would you like to find out your breathing rate? If you want to know your own breathing rate, and you can record it also according to that how many times you are breathing in and breathing out. So one activity given, you can try yourself. Activity 10.2. Generally we are not aware that we are breathing, but it is continuously going on, that breathing. However, if you try, you can count your rate of breathing. Breathe in and out normally. Find out how many times you breathe in and breathe out in a minute. Did you inhale the same number of times as you exhaled? Now count your breathing rate, that is number of breaths per minute, after a brisk walk and after running. Record your breathing rate as soon as you finish and also after complete rest. Tabulate your findings and compare your breathing rates under different conditions with those of your classmates. So here, when you will do this activity with your friends, you can see the changes to find the breathing rate under different conditions. What are the procedure? Find out how many times you breathe in and breathe out in a minute. Second thing, now count your breathing rate, that is number of breaths per minute, after a brisk walk and after running, doing some exercise like walking and running. Record your breathing rate as soon as you finish and also after complete rest. So first you record your breathing rate as soon as walking or running. Then take some rest. Again, when it will be normal, you take note down the breathing rate. Now you can compare all these breathing rates. Tabulate your findings and compare your breathing rate under different conditions with those of your classmates. So like that you can take 2-3 friends. They also first normal rate they can note down. Then after a brisk walk or after running, suddenly take the breathing rate, and after rest take the breathing rate. So you can compare it to each other. Now from this what you can see the observations. Under normal conditions, breathing rate is 15 to 18 per minute. 15 to 18 per minute. That is normal case. After brisk walk or running, breathing rate increases. It depends upon how much speedily you are walking or you are running. Mostly 20 to 25 times. Then, from this what you can conclude? Generally, under normal condition, oxygen requirement of our body is comparatively low. But in walking or running, more energy is consumed and requirement of oxygen also increases. So, this activity shows that at different conditions, there is changes in the breathing rate. I hope you can try yourself. And you can note down like that. Now, next part of the chapter. On an average, an adult human being, at rest breathes in and out 15 to 18 times in a minute. Just now I told, normal breathing rate is 15 to 18 times in a minute. During heavy exercises, the breathing rate can increase up to 25 times per minute. Sometimes 22, sometimes 23. That depends upon the speed. While we exercise, not only do we breathe fast, we also take deep breath and thus inhale more oxygen. When we are doing exercise, when you are climbing or jumping, we will take more deep breath. During that time, more and more oxygenated air enters into the lungs. Now, from this activity, you must have realized that whenever a person needs extra energy, he or she breathes faster. As a result, more oxygen supplied to our cells. When you are breathing fast, more oxygen will be enters into our lungs and it will reach to the cells. And there will be more energy is releasing. Oxidation takes place and more energy is releasing. It speeds up the breakdown of food and more energy is released. So does this explain why do we feel hungry after a physical activity? So when you are doing the physical activity like playing cricket, playing football or any other physical running, coco, all these, after that you feel more hungry and more thirsty also. So the reason is oxidation takes place more and more energy is releasing. So maximum digested food will be break down into carbon dioxide and water and the energy is releasing. So your stomach is completely empty. So you need to take food. Now next one, activity 10.3. Look at this picture on the screen. Here the various picture, some activities are carried out by a person during normal day. Can you say in which activity the rate of breathing will be the slowest and in which it will be the fastest? So you can see different activities are done by the persons. One lady is cleaning the vessels. You can see. Then one girl is sleeping, one man is walking, one girl again walking fast, and one person is climbing, and one boy is reading. So variation in breathing rate during different activities. If we will do physically hard work, more energy needed and more breathing rate will be more and more. These type of pictures you can judge yourself which activity needs more and which activity will be less breathing rate. So sleeping girl has the slowest breathing rate and running girl has the fastest breathing rate. So when you are running, you need more energy, more physical activity, so more oxygen is needed. So breathing rate also maximum. And sleeping means all metabolic activities are slowed down, only slight movement of the lungs and the chest cavity is there. So very less breathing rate. So here you can see from which one's more lower breathing rate to highest one. Sleeping, second one reading, third one walking, fourth one climbing steps, fifth one washing vessels or clothes, and maximum running fast. So when that girl is sleeping, very less breathing rate. And next one is one boy is sitting and reading. So there also breathing rate is comparatively less. Then one man is walking slowly. So not much but normal breathing rate. Then climbing steps. Climbing steps means more energy required, more oxygen is needed. So breathing rate is increasing. And one lady is washing clothes. So there also the muscles are moving. So physical activity. So she needs more breathing rate. And that girl is running fast. So she needs maximum breathing rate. So this way we can say different persons, different activity, the breathing rate is also different. So from these activities what we can say, breathing rate of an individual depends on the activity carried out by him or her. Which activity you are doing, according to that the breathing rate is also different. Now the next part of the chapter is how do we breathe? Normally we take in air through our nostrils, external nose, that we will call it as nostrils. When we inhale air, it passes through our nostrils into the nasal cavity. There is a passage inside the nose. You can see there is mucus is there, some hairy part is there, a canal is there, that is called the nasal cavity. Two holes you can see. From the nasal cavity, the air reaches our lungs. Lungs are situated on the chest cavity on both sides of the sternum. From the nasal cavity, the air reaches our lungs through the windpipe. There is a narrow muscular pipe, cartilaginous pipe is there, which will be starting from the throat to the lungs. So that is called windpipe or trachea. Lungs are present in the chest cavity. This cavity is surrounded by ribs on the sides. On both the sides there are some semicircular bones called ribs. That ribs will be, one end is attached to the chest bone and the other end will be attached to the backbone. And the last two pairs are hanging ones. They are floating ribs. This cavity is surrounded by ribs. On the sides, a large muscular sheet called diaphragm. There is a separating wall called a diaphragm. When we will take a deep breath, you can see your whole body is coming upwards. That is, the diaphragm is moving upwards. When we will relax, slowly and slowly the diaphragm comes downwards. So this muscular sheet called the diaphragm forms the floor of the chest cavity. When the diaphragm goes down, when we relax, so the diaphragm goes downwards and the chest cavity is enlarged. And when the diaphragm moves come upwards, the chest cavity size is decreases. So when we breathe in, maximum space will be there, so the lungs can enlarge in the chest cavity. So more and more air enters through the windpipe into the lungs. There are two lobes on our lungs. One left lung and the other one right one. And when we breathe out, automatically the diaphragm will come upwards. The cavity, the chest cavity size is decreases. So with the pressure of that, when we will breathe out, the carbon dioxide air comes out and the lungs will be contracts and the air, impure air comes out through the nostrils. Breathing involves the movement of the diaphragm and the rib cage. So when the diaphragm is moving upwards and downwards, the ribs are also helping to move properly. So with the breathing involves the movement of diaphragm and the rib cage. During inhalation, ribs move up and outwards and the diaphragm moves down. So ribs will move up and outwards and the diaphragm goes downwards. So the cavity is enlarged. So maximum air enters into the cavity or the lungs. The lungs will be enlarged. This movement increases the space in the chest cavity and the air rushes into the lungs. The lungs gets filled with air. During exhalation, the ribs moves down and inwards. The ribs moves down and inwards. So what happens? While the diaphragm moves upwards, moves to the former position. That means when it was down, it comes to the normal position. This reduces the size of the chest cavity and the air pushed out from the lungs. These movements in our body can be felt easily. Take a deep breath, keep your palm on the abdomen and feel the movement of abdomen. So you can keep your hand on the abdomen and take a deep breath. You can realize yourself how the inhalation and exhalation takes place, how the ribs will be move upward and outwards and the diaphragm goes down and the chest cavity enlarges and maximum air through the nose comes to the windpipe and fill in the lungs. And the size of the lung, it is just like a balloon. It also filled with air, its size becomes bigger. Then exchange of gases takes place and the pure air will be, or the oxygenated air enters into the blood vessels and the impure air returns back to the lungs, and from there after some time the exhalation takes place. During that time the ribs move down and inwards. diaphragm comes to the original position or the former position, this reduces the size of the chest cavity and the air pushes out of the lungs. This movement in our body can felt very easily. So students, today I had explained this part, how the inhalation and exhalation takes place and what is the function of the diaphragm and which activities we need more breathing rate and which activity needs the normal breathing rate, etc. So go through the chapter which I had explained today, and we will meet again next video. So take care and read the chapter, listen the video. Goodbye.